So I pre-mixed my front balayage lightener, and I mixed this one with 40 volume. I think using your developers as you work with different techniques is a very important way to keep your processing time consistent. So I'm raising up the volume in order to get a little bit more lift out of it. And mostly because the back area is going to be on longer, and also it gives you a really nice gradient change as you move to the front. So I'm gonna reload up my paddle. I love this paddle. I love the natural wood that Product Club chose to use when they made these, because I feel like the wood texture does nice things for blending your balayage lightener. Has a very small, gentle amount of grit that gives you good texture, so you can get a nice creamy movement of balayage lightener before you actually pick it up. So now I'm gonna section out this section on her hair, and Brianna parts her hair in the middle, so we are good knowing that. I do recommend that you paint to someone's part. I just think that it is a nicer way for the color to live. I think lots of different techniques work on different parts, but when you really pay attention and customize and give your client bespoke color, I think it's always the best bet. Now I like to kind of consider the side of the face and the areas where I want the color to kiss the face. So because she's a brunette person, I'm not trying to bring too much lightness around her face, but we definitely want a little bit. So I'm going to kind of connect it on these two sides as I come through. Balayage on brunettes can be very quick and effective, and I think that that's a nice thing because they don't need so much work, and be careful that you don't overdo how much balayage you put onto their hair, or it's just going to be blonde. I tend to be somewhat organic in my placements in general. I sort of try to feel out what's happening with the hair, but you definitely want to think about each part of your client's hair and where it would be really beneficial to see some movement. And then I'm going to drop this down and take a look at what's happening. I'm going to come back in this way, and I'm going to make a little bit of a smaller section because often, you know, this will fall forward. Now you can see how fine her hairline is right here. So you want to be careful to not have it be too fine, because if you don't have enough bulk in the hair when you're painting it, you're not going to get nice movement. So I'm going to make that a little bit bulkier. The hair will tell you how much hair you should have in that. If you take a section down that you think is the right one, but if you can see through the hair, it's not a good choice. So here I'm going to cut this off and take this section here, and now I have a nice pocket of depth next to this lightness, and I want to get this in the front. And I am going to connect her hairline a little bit, but any of these super baby hairs that seem to want to fall out, I'm going to let them fall out and not force them into the equation, especially since we're finishing her out as a brunette. When I consult with a brunette client, I always ask them if they went to a party and they met a bunch of new people, how would they like them to remember her? Oh, that lovely blonde woman? Oh, that lovely brunette woman? These are the things that you really need to understand in order to make your clients happy. Because if they identify as a brunette and you make them too blonde, no matter how gorgeous it is, that is not what they asked you for.